Hey Floss Tube, it's Taryn. Welcome. It is Saturday, July 22nd. I hope everybody's had a great week. Our week has been pretty okay. Wyatt and Dax left yesterday and went to Houston. They had to be at Ellington Air Force Base, I think that's right, this morning at 7:30, and that's like 4 hours from our house, 3.5, something like that. So they went yesterday and spent the night with his parents. They went kind of early in the day because his sister wanted to get together and have dinner and all that stuff while they were in town. So they were gone yesterday. Abigail's in Canada. Addison went shopping with a friend and spent the night at her house. And Kirsten was gone with Wesley all day. So I was by myself. I had to go into the office, so that's no fun. But I just piddled a lot, and that was good. I didn't do any of the grown-up things that I should have done, like take advantage and clean house or anything like that. Screw that. So I piddled around. I worked on some stuff. I worked on quite a few different things this week because this week I've had like cross-stitch ADD or something, because it's been like, ooh, I want to work on that. And then, ooh, I want to work on that. And so, anyway, I watched some Floss Tube. I am so far behind that it's ridiculous. But I've been meaning, because a couple of weeks ago I watched some of, the channel name is Cindy's Cross Stitch. I watched some of Cindy's stuff trying to catch up, which I'm probably behind again already anyway. But she had shown where she saved the stitches, and I kept thinking, I think I've got that one. I think I worked on that in Mania. And so I finally looked, and I did. And one of the reasons that it kept sticking in my head is because I noticed, we've talked about my issue with things that say welcome. When she was holding up the piece, it's this one, and it freaking is a welcome piece. What is my deal with welcome? I didn't even notice that until Cindy was holding it up. Seriously. I saw another piece I was going to buy on eBay, and I didn't let myself because it freaking said welcome on it. I think it's a sickness. I really do. So, anyway, I wanted to show y'all, I keep meaning to, and I forget to go grab it out of her room. But yesterday, I did it last night, because I've been meaning to show y'all some of the stuff that my kids do. And I don't have Kirsten's here. It's at the office. She did I looked it up how to pronounce it, and I don't remember anymore. I don't remember. It's the paper cutting. I call it Sharon Shit because that's the way it's spelled. But that is not correct. People don't call it that. Do not do that. It has a pronunciation, and I can't remember it. Anyway, Kirsten made Dax Star Wars piece like that for Father's Day, but it's already at the office. And there's another, Abigail painted a Sam Elliott for Dax for Father's Day, and that's at the office also. But she had these that they did for a class project at the end of the year. All three of my girls were in a group, and they did, they had to do a project about a book that they'd read. So Abigail did these paintings, and then Kirsten and Addison had to do the talking part of the presentation. But I thought I'd show them to you because for a kid who doesn't have any training or anything, I think they're pretty good. They're way better than anything I could do. Here's one of them. I thought that was pretty cool. And she did both of these like this was one day after school. She did this one, and this one was the next day after school. Yeah, Granted, the paintings are dark, but so is the book. So, anyway, I thought those were pretty cool. So, I wanted to show them off because it's my kid and I get to do that. Okay, cross stitch. Oh, before I forget, the snail laid more eggs. So, I don't know, now we've got like 200 snail eggs. So again, if you're in the market for snails, let me know. As usual, I worked on Norman Rockwell. I got stuff all messed up over here, so I don't have any place to put things down. And I got a fair amount done this week. All of this here underneath the chair, I got all that done. And this part sucks because I'm filling in on her apron, and it's almost the same color, so hooray, you can't see the work. That's hard to deal with when you're working on something and you can't see any progress because it just doesn't show up. I know eventually it will when other stuff gets around it, kind of like his shirt, but still. Are y'all getting tired of seeing that yet? I so want to get it finished though. And of course, linen and threads. I didn't get a ton done, and actually, I didn't want to work on it. I think I'm, you know, halfway, just barely on March, and as you can see, I started a little tiny part of April. I was working on it, and I found that I had a mistake in here, so I had to go out and I had to go back and pull some out, and I got that part back in and stuff, but I just haven't wanted to work on it. I've actually had to force myself this week for the little bit that I got done, and most of that was yesterday. Yesterday I had a pile about this big of things. Oh, I'm going to work on this one a little bit, and then I would and set it down and, you know, do 10 stitches and something else. I'm telling you, it was bad. I put just a tiny bit of work in on this one, Wedding Row. That's by Bent Creek. And it really was just a tiny little bit. I think I did like this part here on the ribbon. But I'm getting things to a place where I might be able to start on the letters, so that's pretty exciting. I don't work on these things because that one's a really small count, and I don't work on them with people around because I wear readers with my glasses so that I can see what I'm doing. I should go buy a magnifying setup and just be done with it. I did a little bit more on this July 4th piece, Plum Street Samplers. I think that's right. It's one of their freebies if you go look. I'm doing it on about a million count, 1/1. That's how it feels anyway. But it's coming along. I think I have one more row of the white to go across, and then another, start the red again. I like it, but it is really hard to see. But I wanted it to be all tiny. So, and I told y'all, just tiny stuff on a lot of things. My Texas Panorama by Be Stitched. I'm way behind on video, so I don't know where Sherry is on hers. I know she's already finished the X. She's probably putting her initials at the bottom of the finished piece by now. I filled in a little bit of the wildflowers. Oh my gosh. It is obviously confetti heavy at the bottom of the X. Last night I actually contemplated moving on to the E at the top because there isn't confetti up there. It could still happen. And I worked just a little bit last night on Christmas Gentleman. It's Leisure Arts. I love all the, you know, Santas through the years and the old world Santas and all of that. I think I've talked about that before. All I did was finish the S and do the I think is what, yeah, I think I had the S, just a little bit of it before. And there was that. Last week I had shown y'all this one that I was working on. It was, I think it was a Mania Start. I don't know. But I had done just a little bit on the little pumpkin. And I couldn't stand it, so I worked on it and finished it. Hooray! Woohoo! Finish. Like I said, I think this was one of my Mania pieces, so I may actually have a Mania finish, for heaven's sakes. And I showed it to Dax, and he goes, "That's cute. What are you going to do with it?" I said, "I'll probably stitch it up and put it in that little bowl with, you know, the other pieces." And he goes, "What bowl?" The one on the back of that. The one behind the blue couch on the ironing board that's full of little pieces like this. He's like, "Huh, I have no idea what you're talking about." You can't walk into our house and get to our bedroom without walking past this bowl, people. He walks past it several times every day. I'm not even kidding. I mean, it's right there. And he has no idea. Welcome to my world. It's okay. And then, on the 17th, I had a new start, and I was doing this primitive cat, because I'm probably going to do it and put it in that invisible bowl. I didn't put the border. I decided not to do the border, so I just did the cat. And I started it, and it was moving along pretty quickly, so I kept working on it, and I finished it. 2 finishes, people. 2. In 1 week. I can't even believe it. But the cat looks just as goofy as I expected him to and that I wanted him to, which was the reason I bought the pattern in the first place, is because the cat's goofy looking. Look at my needle minder, Abby. I thought of you the whole time I was stitching this because of my needle minder. But anyway, another finish. I will stitch it up and put it in my not a dough bowl, and see if anyone notices. I doubt it. So, that was what the stitching I got done. I'm pretty excited. 2 finishes in 1 week. What the heck? I have worked a lot on other things that I have to FFO pieces, but I don't like any of it right now. I'm struggling. Here's one. This was a piece that I bought because I was country when country wasn't cool. I have several pieces around here that I've bought that are cross-stitched by somebody else because some of them are off of websites where people, like Listia, where nobody was bidding on something and I couldn't stand to see it not bid on, so I bid on it and bought it, whether I really wanted it or not. So I have several things sitting around here just because I couldn't stand to see them not purchased that are, I guess, the save the stitches. So look, I did it before I knew it was going to be a thing. But anyway, this is just a little piece that somebody had done that I bought. And I finished it off. This fabric, it says Country Life. And it's just off of a piece that had panels and everything printed on it and everything. So I fussy cut that out. But there's too much blue down here. And I don't know what to do. I have buttons, you know, where one's like an apple crate and some little apples. And I pinned that on there and I didn't like it. I have some just apple buttons and I pinned that on there and I didn't like it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy with all of that. The fabric on the back is just a bunch of apples. So here this one sits. I don't really consider it an FFO yet because I like it. I have this one. This is a piece that I stitched. The Cozy Christmas Wishes, which was a Lizzie Kate freebie, I think. Still got a gaping hole. I used this, again, this was off a, I just dropped a button. This was off a panel where I fussy cut some gingerbread men in a cookie jar. And then I fussy cut these gingerbread men back here. But again, I'm not really happy with it. I put some red rickrack, but it doesn't really show up well. I have these little gingerbread man buttons pinned on there, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it yet, which is why it still has a gaping hole and all of that stuff. So I don't know. And there are some others that are sitting around here somewhere that are kind of in the same state. They've been buried now with other stuff. Maybe I'll get myself together and start digging through and finding things that make me happier. I have some acquisitions. Let's see. I bought, because Kirsten works in a consignment shop, and I went the other day because I needed to take her picture to get things set up for passports in case we decide to do anything. Ours are expired, but I bought this cute little sunflower bowl. I put a big fat magnet on the back so that I can use it for pins and they don't fall out unless you get them, you know, way too many stacked up. But you can look at mine, right? I bought these. Look at these that they have in there. I know they're not, you know, they're not the shaker things, but they're very well made. They're solid. I mean, they're not moving at all. And I got 2 of them. They were, I don't know, between this little thing and those 2, I spent like $13, $14, I don't know, but I'm so excited about those. And I haven't decided. I think that the top right here is a good size. I haven't actually measured. I may stain it and a little darker, and when I get my Norman Rockwell finish, since it's a circle, I think it will fit on here with still just a little lip around it. So I may do that to put that out. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't measured. Or any of that kind of stuff to see if that will actually work. I went shopping yesterday and I bought a frame because I still have not delivered my Ronald McDonald House piece that's been finished forever. It got buried and forgotten about, and I've had trouble finding a frame, but I found one yesterday that is a 9 by 12, because 8 by 10 was like right to the letters, you know, and 10 by 13 was just a little bit too big. And so yesterday I found a 9 by 12, but the one I found was black, and I really want it to be either red or the gold color. I haven't quite decided. I'll probably go with red, but I wanted something brighter and a little more festive since this goes in the family room, where they have other stuff for them to do, you know, some games and things like that. So I wanted something a little happier. I ordered off of eBay, not what I'm going to show you. I ordered a cross stitch thing. What I got is one that is embroidery. but it's a super simple embroidery. It's satin stitches, and all you stitch, see, everything is printed. All you stitch is these, the little squares on the blanket. This is not what I ordered. And when I got it, I emailed the lady and that I've got it from on eBay and told her that, you know, that this isn't what I ordered, and asked her, does this need to go to somebody else? Did somebody else order this? Because I would be glad to forward it on to them if I got it by mistake. And she wrote me back and said, no, nobody had bid on that one, for me to keep it, and she would send me the one that I ordered. I only paid 99 cents. Free shipping. 99 cents. She's already losing money having sent this one to me. And now she's going to send me the other one. I feel so guilty. I do. Because it's like, you know, you didn't have to do that. So I'm going to give her some free advertising because she has an Etsy shop. Can you see that? Momani Threads. I don't know if it's focusing. Or, so it's Momani Threads on Etsy. That's her shop name. Mommani Threads. Here's her little symbol. But she's obviously a very conscientious, great business person and is willing to make it right, even though I told her that this one, if she hadn't sold this to anyone else, I told her if she sold it to somebody else, I would be glad to forward it on and ship it to them. And if she hadn't, I'd be glad to keep it in exchange of the other one. But she says she's sending the other one anyway. So I know that she's a good business person. Maybe not good business as in making money off of her business, but she's honest and wants to make sure her customers are happy. I haven't been on her Etsy site. I bought this off of eBay with my eBay bucks. But I'm going to go check out her Etsy site just because of the way she handled this. So anyway, there is that. Does anybody, oh wait, before I ask that, I also, off of Listia, I bought I won a bid that was a bunch of hoops. This one is, it's like a hoop, but it's a keychain. How cute is that? They come from a smoker's house, so they're kind of stinky, but it doesn't matter because they're going to sit out here. But I had to show you this because this cracked me up. Talk about ingenuity. This hoop is a very old wood hoop. It's worn and discolored and everything, which is awesome. But they put the middle from a new hoop inside of it because I'm going to guess it broke. But here's the ingenuity. They obviously lost the screw that goes with these hoops. And look, they put in this thumb screw. Look at this screw. And a little nut at the end to hold it in place. Look at that. That cracked me up. That just cracks me. That's the kind of thing that I would do. With a hoop that I liked, absolutely. Whatever it would take to keep it. Anyway, there was a bag with a bunch of them. And you can never have too many hoops. I wanted to ask because when I was digging through some of my stuff out here, because I told you I've had cross-stitch ADD this week, I came across this. And I have a couple of books that are duplicate stitch. I could never find a sweater that I was willing to pay for. I found some, but I wasn't going to pay $50 for a sweater that then I was going to have to work on. Because I'm cheap that way, and because this was, you know, like 100 years ago. But I like this little bunny. Has anybody ever used a duplicate stitch pattern to cross stitch because the patterns, I guess I can't show you, they look just like a cross stitch pattern. And I know that stitching on the sweater kind of distorts stuff, but it doesn't look like the pattern has been adjusted for that. Has anybody tried that? I think I'm going to try stitching that on cross stitch fabric and see how it turns out. If you've tried it and it absolutely does not work, please let me know so that I don't, you know, waste all that time. Because it's not like I don't have other things to do. I counted yesterday. Last week I said I had, like, I thought I had 36 whips. I counted yesterday. I actually have 42. And I actually pulled out a new start last night. I didn't start it, but it's sitting there staring at me, so I might. What else? There was something else that was making me think of it, the duplicate stitch. I don't know. I've been watching, like I said, I've been trying to catch up. I'm still behind. I watched some of Dina's posts, and I want to thank her for confessing. I do appreciate when other people confess, when it's not just me that needs time and confession. But she is talking about moving. Oh my God. We have been in this house for 12 or 13 years. I guess at the end of this year it'll be 13 years. We closed on our house like on December 24th or something crazy. But that's the longest we've ever lived anywhere. Before that, 4 years was the top of the list. There were places that only made it like a year. Like when we moved to Wimberley, we rented a house because we had made an offer on the business. They called us on a Friday and accepted our offer. The next Friday, Dax and I came to town and found a house to rent. And the next Friday, the moving trucks were all packed and we were on our way. And the kids were 4, I think, when we did that. And we moved here from Texarkana. When we lived in Texarkana, it was kind of the same thing. We went and picked out a house. We told them we have to close in 2 weeks, and that managed to happen. And we moved, like, we found it and moved within 2 weeks' time because he had to start his new job, and the kids were not yet a year old when we did that. So we don't find out ahead of time that we're going to move, apparently. We're not any good at that. But we don't stay any place for a very long time, apparently. Like I said, this has been the longest we've been in one house. And the thought of moving again. I told Dax if we ever move again, I'm packing a box with photos and memories, and they can have all of the other crap in the house. As a matter of fact, our dining table, the legs on it are about this big around, and it's so stupid heavy. It hasn't been moved since when they delivered it. They set it in place. It's been in that spot exactly since then. So yeah, I'm not taking, they can have it. Somebody else can deal with it. You probably have to get a saw in and cut it in half. But I do not envy Dina moving. I hope that, like I said, I'm behind, so I hope that that's all gone well if they've actually moved yet, or that it is going well in the process. I can't even imagine. It gives me sweats just thinking about it. I feel like I had another question, and I don't remember what it is, which seems perfectly natural. Don't forget, go 2 weeks back. Is it 2 weeks ago? if you're interested in the book and enter, watch the video. You're supposed to answer a question. What is it? Oh, favorite project you've ever done, cross-stitch or otherwise. Next weekend I'm going to draw. So if you get it done by next Friday night, if you're interested, go back and do that. Okay, I don't know what the question was, and I could sit here and ramble forever and never remember it, but I'm certain as soon as I stop I will. So I'll write it down if I do. Thank y'all, everyone, for coming in, coming in. Well, I feel like you've come into my craft room, the dungeon. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, everyone, for your comments and your likes and your well wishes. This year has been crazy with just one thing after another, it seems, and like I said before, I hope that if I'm supposed to learn a lesson, I can freaking learn it fast. Addison's car, they finally came back to us with a bid. Not a bid. They told us that it would probably be around $2,000 to fix her car. Which is insane. They never actually looked anything up to give us a real estimate, just kind of ballparked it. So, being the way I am, which is not at all the way Dax is, y'all should know this, that Dax is not at all, no freaking way. He's like, you know, just suck it up and pay it. I got on YouTube and I looked to see exactly what it was they were changing and everything, because I talked to another mechanic and he's like, oh no, because you have to have this super special equipment, and because it's the powertrain control module that has gone out, which is basically it's the computer that runs the part that keeps the power running. So I got online and looked, and it's not like you have to dig into the engine to do anything. It's all freaking on top. The computer, which is supposed to be so much trouble, is like right up at the firewall, which is on the engine side of the dash. It's 3 bolts to take the computer out. I found a company that I guess we found, because Dax finally started looking too, where you pull out your own computer, you send it to them, they fix your computer so that nothing has to be programmed to your car. If you get a brand new computer, they have to go through a process of programming it. It's your own computer. They fix it and they send it back. They have a 24-hour turnaround. And all of our parts together, we're under $500 for everything. Having the computer rebuilt, new coils, new spark plugs, all of the parts were under $500. And they wanted $2,000. Dax's stepdad came and he and Wyatt took the old parts off. We're waiting for the new stuff to come in. The coils came in yesterday. We bought the spark plugs. We bought the new gaskets because of what we had to take apart. And the computer should be here Monday or Tuesday. So they will put it back together. Total in all, they're probably going to spend somewhere between 2 or 3 hours in labor. That's just, so the mechanic at, if we go $500 for parts, their estimate's another $1,500. We're talking maybe 3 hours in labor. They're charging $500 an hour for labor? I don't think so. So I have another car sitting in my driveway that's not running. Dax's stepdad came, and we have a trailer sitting out on our property too. He came and got the trailer, and they went and got the car in the trailer and brought it back to the house. So anyway, it will be repaired. The air conditioner in my car, which is, I drive a Suburban. The air conditioner in it has been kind of messing up for a while, and it's finally gotten to where on the driver's side it only wants to blow hot air. So got online again and found that it's a part that's pretty easy to replace. I ordered the part. They already shipped it, so I'm hoping it will be here probably on Monday. I'm trying to think, because it was like $15 or $20. Again, a cheap part that's gone out, and I've watched, it's pretty easy to get to. So hopefully I'm going to get my AC fixed in my car. I told Dax we're just going to open a shop and do repairs here. It's nuts. But the washing machine's still working. I'm so happy. And the tankless water heater that I put in months ago worked for about 30 minutes, and it hasn't worked yet again since. I have spent over a month with the actual company that makes the water heater, going back and forth troubleshooting. They keep sending me to try different things, and they're not working. So finally, they wanted me to call a handyman to come out here to look at some things, and I finally said, you know, look, I live out in the country. A handyman charges us $100 to even show up out here, and by the time he does any work, I could have just bought a new water heater. You know, can you just replace the heater I have? It is not working. So it's been sent, it's been shipped. So hopefully that's going to get back in order pretty soon too when it gets here. So that is the state of repairs around here. They just keep coming, but hopefully we're getting to where everything's going to be new pretty soon, I swear. But anyway, if we get the AC working in the car that we're having to drive the most, it will make Tags much happier. Since he's gone in his car, which is an Explorer, it's what Addison's been driving, because it's her car, the one that she drives all the time, that's broken. That leaves the Suburban here as the vehicle that's running, and Addison has to work today. So I am about to be stuck at home with no vehicle. We do have a truck out there, and it does run if there's an emergency. I could use it, but we bought some parts for it. It has not been inspected. That's all run out, and it doesn't have any insurance on it right now because we have not gone and transferred the title. So there's that. If I had an emergency, I could get out of here, but for the most part, I'm going to be stuck at home all day today, which means I'm going to continue to feed my cross-stitch addiction here. Dax told me I'm addicted, that I have an addictive personality when it comes to this stuff. So, oh well. Okay, that's enough rambling. I'm going to go get to it. Thank y'all again for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate the comments, and I am trying to get caught up on them. So if you see something where somebody's responded to you from a comment you made that you have no idea that you made because it's been so long ago, that was me. Y'all have a good week, and I hope you get a lot done, and we will see you here next time. Thanks so much. Bye.